Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. I would like to introduce my KTM Duke 390 that I'm using as my daily commuter to work, and I would like to share a few points about it, just so you guys know if you are thinking buying one of these. I've heard an opinion that these kind of bikes, and this bike specifically, is really good for a beginner bike. I'm gonna share with you some points that I think it is not as great bike for a beginner, and at the same time, it might be good if you're okay with some pros and cons of this bike. So let's start. One of the cons, it requires high revs to operate, and the reason why, because it has a very light flywheel that's why you need to pretty much rev it all the time so it doesn't stall on you. It might be a little bit confusing and disappointing if you are a newly rider. Another thing that I noticed with this bike, it produces a lot of heat, mostly because they do share same platform with a younger or smaller bike. They do make them in 250 and 125 cc's, and they do share same cooling system. Just so you're aware of it, it might get a little noisy and a little hot on a hot day. Another point is short gears. I found the gears on these bikes are rather short, especially once you shift up to the third gear. Fourth gear is a little more satisfying, but before you get to that gear, it's a little bit disappointing because it doesn't go as fast. It revs high, but doesn't go as fast as you think it would. And when you are really anxious as a newly rider on an intersection, the shifts might be a little clunky, because I guess it's just the gear ratio. It is not the most pleasant experience hearing that metal on metal clunk. Being a new rider, or rather experienced rider, you don't want to take it on a highway because obviously, as you can see, it doesn't have too much of a wind protection, and you will not feel comfortable riding highway speeds on this bike. Also, on a highway speeds, you will probably, and same in the city, you might feel a little bit of a vibration. Again, same issue. It is a single piston, single cylinder bike, and on a high revs, it wants to vibrate. So it's not very balanced. The grips on this bike, I was told the grips are not the best. I didn't have any issues with that, but so you are mindful that they're rather hard, not soft, not grippy. But again, I had no issues with that. Mirrors are okay, but not the greatest. You don't see much in them, even though they look awesome. I like how they look. If you look from the front, they match the bike style. They look great, but they're not too informative. The brakes here are Bybre. Actually, they are made by Brembo. It's their sub-brand. They're fine. Specifically, my bike does make a little bit of a smoke sometimes, and I figured once it ran hot, then next day it does start smoking, but it's not a big concern to me. Yet you have to make sure you watch the oil level, because mine does drop every couple weeks. I have to add some oil. Keep an eye on the fluids. The pros of this bike, it is really light and easy to maneuver in the streets, and if you happen to drop it, which does happen to all of us, then it's not a big deal, because picking up this bike is rather easy. It accelerates nice and fast, and it has a nice sound. Of course, it sounds differently on the road. Design, in my opinion, is pretty edgy, minus the back side of it. Altogether, all around, I think it's a pretty nice design. Good colors. It stands out in the streets, especially like the frame stands out. The shape of it is really cool. The fork on this bike is also pretty soft yet stiff when you need it. It's kind of nice balance that they managed to reach, and steers well and reacts to the road surface rather adequately. And the brakes are great. They're not awesome, but again, if you're just starting, they're more than enough for you to stop the bike. Yeah, don't push it to the limit, of course. This is few points that I've had. Altogether, it is a nice bike, but I think there are better options out there, just based on all those cons that I mentioned, and specifically high, like needing rev high. If you're not used to revs, you will stall it easily. You have to rev it up to about 4,500 revs and higher. Otherwise, you're gonna stall it right away. These are some points I wanted to mention. Comment, like, subscribe. You guys know that. See you in the next one.